Sunrise paints the highway gold, another mile to go. Got my coffee hot and strong, feeling that diesel flow. From the mountains to the plains, across the country wide, there's a story in each hall, with Todd right by my side. Oh, Trucker Todd, he's on the road with his camera in hand, sharing tales from the big rig across the promised land. From the engine's roar to the scenic view, every moment clear and bright. Trucker Todd, he lights up the screen day and through the night. He shows us how the gears all shift, the struggles and the grace. The lonely stretch is friendly, stops at a steady, honest pace. For every truck stop, diner meal, and every sunset hue, Todd's there with a friendly wave, making every journey new. Oh, Trucker Todd, he's on the road with his camera in hand, sharing tales from the big rig across the promised land. From the engine's roar to the scenic view, every moment clear and bright. Trucker Todd, he lights up the screen day and through the night. He's got the tips for maintenance, the jokes to make you smile, connecting strangers far and near, from mile after mile. It's more than just a journey, it's a community so grand. With every upload, every trip, he's the best in all the land. Oh, Trucker Todd, he's on the road with his camera in hand, sharing tales from the big rig across the promised land. From the engine's roar to the scenic view, every moment clear and bright. Trucker Todd, he lights up the screen day and through the night. So give a like and subscribe to Todd's channel, true and bold. More adventures on the way, stories yet untold. Honk, honk.
Well, hello, everybody. Long time no see. I think it's been a few weeks since we did one of these. We have got a lot to get to tonight. Not sure how long we'll go. My voice is kind of going, but definitely some things to get to. We have got to the TransAm Trucking troubles here in just a second. We got some comments I want to get to, though. I see some people in here that I haven't seen in a while. One of them is my actual brother, and I want to get a message to him before I read the comments. I'll send him a couple of. In your neck of the woods, August 7th through the 9th for Sarah's wedding, and I know she's invited y'all too. I don't know if you're going or not, but I'm hoping we can meet up for dinner, maybe that Saturday night or something like that. But if you're able to respond in the comments here, do, and if not, I'll continue to try to reach out to you and see if we can set something up. But we'll get to everybody's comments here in just a second. Before we do, though, let's say hello to our channel members. The Gorilla Gang, as they're affectionately called. I think there's a cool story behind that. The guy that came up with that name meant it as a negative connotation, as a bunch of knuckle draggers. and people that weren't real smart. But the guys that were channel members at the time, and most of them still are, thought it was funny, and we've kind of ran with it. So, want to say good hello to the Gorilla Gang. We'll start with the longest standing current channel member, who has been at it for 31 months, and we'll work our way down to the most recent, who I believe just became a channel member 3 days ago. So we got Ramon, Adam, Racing Ray, Jesus name above all names, Michael, Adam again, 404 Trucker Dave, Darth Wampus, My Name is Nobody, Kevin Snipes, Chaos Ninja, Kyle McKee, Brian Vanderway, Oser DM, Nick Earl, Blue Collar, who just became a channel member 3 days ago. Thank y'all for that. Definitely glad to have each and every one of you here. And I hope all of you are taking advantage of the early access to videos. There's going to be a lot coming out here real soon. A lot is happening behind the scenes. There has been some drama with TransAm, and we're going to get into it. As recently as an hour ago, I was discussing some concerns I have with the leadership, and I'll tell you how that's going and my thoughts on that. But I do want to get to the comments. Some of you have been waiting a long time. We'll start with the very first person in here today. He commented about, oh boy, 4:36. So he commented about an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes ago, something like that. He says, I'm on home time. I'll watch the entirety in the morning on my way to Gloversville, New York. Hope all is well. Stay safe, my friend. Yes, sir. Hope you enjoy that home time. I am currently in Pennsylvania, and I have no planned time off until August 6th. Then I'm going to a wedding over there close to where my brother lives, and so I'm hoping I can go to the wedding and see them all in that same fell swoop. My youngest son, today's his birthday, and so I want to wish him a happy birthday. He is, let me do a little math here. He is 33 years old today. That is hard to believe and hard to say, but yeah, my youngest son is 33. And so happy birthday to him. I called him earlier and we texted briefly. He was out at dinner with some friends and said he'd call me later. He's kind of bad about calling, kind of like I am. So we'll talk in the next day or two for sure. M&B Trucking, I'm here. Hit that like button, guys. Yeah, please. Everybody hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, consider doing it. Those things are free to do, and they really help the channel out. You can also share this video out to your friends, and that's also greatly appreciated, or put it on your social media platforms. Also in here tonight is Ted Van Buskirk. Hello, sir. Hope all is well. I will be here. Good to see you again, my friend. We're just going to get caught up on these, and then I'll give you the latest lowdown on what's happening with me over here at TransAm. Been a lot of rumors going around that I've quit, that I'm no longer at TransAm, that I'm planning to quit. One owner of a company called me last week, and he said that he gets calls pretty regularly, people asking him if I'm working over there. No, I can tell you that I am still at TransAm. I'm currently parked in Pennsylvania at a truckparkingclub.com spot, and I'll be shooting a video here in the morning doing a review on this place after I spend the night here, and you'll be able to clearly see my truck in that video with all its TransAm stickers and tail stickers and everything. Oh boy, let me see what this is. Hang on just a second, guys. I don't think it's nothing we got to be too concerned about. Not sure why Do Not Disturb didn't work. We're fixing that real quick. It never fails. Phone will get quiet, and I'll go to do one of these videos, and it'll just blow up with messages and phone calls when I go on. The closer, '08. Good day, bro. You need to go to Like Trucking. It's the dean. If you know, you know. Probably the best move for you, honestly. I really like trucking. I know that's kind of that is terrible English. I really like trucking, so it's like, comma, like. I really like trucking, and I can say I also really like TransAm, but um, there's some definite advantages to like trucking, and I can definitely tell you that um, it's definitely something I've considered and continue to consider. But despite what you hear on social media, switching jobs is not something I take lightly, and I got to make the best decision right now, and that's what makes it tough over here at TransAm. The things they're great on, they are excellent on, but the places they struggle, they really struggle. So most of the company I would give an A plus, but when it comes to home time, that whole experience has been quite honestly an F in most situations. And we're going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you a story tonight about something that happened recently and their response to it. And, you know, what makes this tough is I can't come on, like with Garrison, I could come on here and I could tell you some things that I felt they did that were very dishonest. I don't have none of that with TransAm. I can't give you an example yet of where they have intentionally ripped me off, intentionally lied to me, something like that. I've met a lot of great people. I'm really good friends with several of them. And so, if I do choose to leave TransAm at some point, and we all leave companies at some point, so we can change it to when I leave TransAm at some point. Maybe on a stretcher when I'm dead and gone, you never know. But at some point, we all leave whatever company we're at. Whenever I leave, it's going to be a tough decision because there's a lot of people there I genuinely like. But I could say the same thing about Like Trucking. I know several people over there. There's a few of them I've known for years. Shannon Thomas, I've known her for years. KB, the smooth one, I've known him for years. So I do know a lot of people over there. Oops, and I screwed up and broke my own rule and mentioned some names. But yeah, a lot of great people over there. I guess it's okay if I'm talking good about people. The owner over there, I've had several extensive conversations with him. He is a great guy. I have no beefs with him whatsoever. I really like his pickup. I don't think any of that stuff is a secret. I think whether I go there at some point or not, I'll probably still hang out with several of them at Matt's this next year. It's looking like I'm going to be involved with a few companies there. So I'm not sure how much free time I'll have, but when I'm not obligated to be in certain booths or something like that, I'll definitely be swinging by there and eating up their caramels and saying hello and all that good stuff. M&B Trucking, let's go. Yes, sir. We are going now. Getting wound up. Let's see here. Brian Vanderway. Good evening, Trucker Todd. Getting fuel and F&M, then going back on the road. We'll listen while I roll. Good deal, man. Glad to have you here tonight. Don says, good evening. Good evening, Don. Thank you for being here. And Michael saying good evening as well. Here's my brother He says, "What's up, bro? For those that don't know, on your favorite social media platforms, he has a channel called Better Together with Seth. They do basically Minecraft. If you're into Minecraft or would like to be into Minecraft, I bought the game as a result of watching his videos, and I got kind of a rudimentary understanding of it. It seems like a lot of fun. I just don't have the time to commit to it, but one of these days I need to sit down with him or somebody that could get me going real good, and then I'd probably play it. But good to see him in here. I don't know if he's still in here or not, but he'll pop in from time to time, and I pop in on his videos from time to time too. We had a freaky thing happen one day where I popped in on one of his videos, and one of my viewers was in there, and we thought it was kind of cool that they watch his videos and my videos too. But definitely check him out. It's his channel's not all about Minecraft. Like, he talks about life and his kids and other things, and it's really interesting. And so I would recommend checking out Better Together with Seth on TikTok or Facebook or wherever you get your social media fix at. Blues Trucker, hey Trucker Todd, driving I-80 Nebraska heading to Tracy, California. I'll be listening. I was just on I-80 yesterday, a whole lot. So we probably passed each other at some point, but glad you're here, my friend. And Better Together with Seth again. As Trucker Todd's little brother, I'd like to set the record straight on who was better at NES football. I'm going to say I don't remember us playing NES football, but I'm going to say you probably were better. I remember you and I played on the TI-99, and I could beat you on there. I was pretty much undefeated. And one time, the only way I could get Derek to play me is if I bet a pocket knife I had, and something went wrong, and he beat me pretty bad on that game of TI football, and so I had to give up my pocket knife. And I tried every trick in the book to con him back out of it, and it didn't work. I lost my pocket knife. M&B Trucking, hey there, we're here. Good deal. Glad you're here, my friend. The 5-minute intro, I get it, it's a little long. It's basically sound check time for me to make sure my microphones are working, that the video's working. If I need to make some adjustments to internet or something like that, I've got all 3 networks in here now, T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. So if I need to make a switch, I basically got 5 minutes to get everything up and running. And several of you have said you like the songs and stuff. So we kind of kill a lot of birds with one stone. And then at the end of the video, we play the This Is Why I Do This song, mainly just to irritate the trolls. There's not any real reasoning behind it. Also, it gives me 20 or 30 seconds to say bye to somebody if they pop a comment in at the last second or something like that. Your mama's house. If you had the ability to pick whatever truck you wanted, what would it be and what color? So I like royal blue. Royal blue is my favorite color. And man, I'd probably get a Peterbilt, maybe a 389 with those stretched RV style sleepers that have the shower and everything in them. I'd probably have a hard time finding a place to lease it on. But those trucks are just so nice. And even if I couldn't get the stretch sleeper, I really like a hooded 389. Now, they're probably not the most practical truck. You need a half a state to make a U-turn and things like that. They're probably not the most fuel efficient thing on the road. But if you're going to dream, you might as well dream big. And Russell Freight Services. Hey, Todd, hope all is well after we met. Yeah, after all these years, I finally met Russell Freight Services. I was at this little bitty, what was it, a pilot? And I seen a truck go by that said Russell Freight Services, and I thought, no way, could that be him? And he pulled around to get fuel and waved at me, and I thought, well, sure enough, it is him. So I went over, got to say hi to him for about 10 or 15 minutes. It's always nice when I can meet some of y'all out here on the road, see a friendly face. I see plenty of not friendly faces, so it's good to see some friendly faces. Code name. Hey, Todd. Hey, Code name. Good to see you again, my friend. And Cheap Freight Hauler. Good evening from Cali. All of y'all went to Cali after I left. I guess I should have stayed out there a little longer. All right, we're going to do a couple more comments, and then we're about 20 minutes in or so, so we'll go ahead and I'll tell you what's been going on with TransAm. And Race and Ray, channel member, moderator. Hey, y'all, looks like I'll have to catch you on the replay. NASCAR tonight. Have a good show, Todd. Thanks, Race and Ray. Enjoy the race. And Russell Freight Services just hit another 4301 mile week. Well, congratulations on that. For those that don't know, Russell Freight Services is on a mileage contract, so that's good for him. Congratulations on that. All right, I'm going to take his comment off there and tell you what has transpired and where me and TransAm sit right now. So I was in Idaho, and I got a load going to New Orleans. And I needed to pass by the house. I was supposed to be home on the 10th. I needed to get some blood work, and I had recently bought a small pickup, and I needed to sign the papers. And I'll tell you the story on that too. I had bought this pickup. It's a 2024 model. I bought it sight unseen off the internet. They delivered it to my house out of Amarillo to Lubbock, Texas, and I needed to run by and sign some stuff you can't sign through DocuSign, like title application, some things like that, some things for the credit union that's financing it, and some things like that. So that was in Amarillo that I needed to sign that stuff. Blood work needed to be done in Lubbock. Well, TransAm had scheduled me for off time in Olathe instead of Lubbock. I don't know why they thought I needed blood work in Olathe when I live in Lubbock, but so originally they were trying to get me to Olathe, and the who's now dispatcher one is currently a night dispatcher, and she's kind of working double duty nights and days, and it was just a mistake on her part. She's been excellent to deal with so far, but she just made a mistake. We're all human. She made a mistake. Dispatcher 2 came in and caught it by accident. He was telling me on the phone, well, Todd, I'm trying to get you to Olathe. And I was like, why are you trying to get me to Olathe? I live in Lubbock. He's like, oh, that's what they got in here. So he got it switched to Lubbock. And this load was going to pass through Lubbock. It had a little time on it. I was just going to swing through Amarillo, sign the papers, drive through Lubbock, get the blood drawn, and keep going. Because it turned into a soup sandwich like it always does when I try to go home. So I said, he said, well, let's have a driver meet you in Lubbock. He'll bring you an empty. He'll take your loaded trailer, and that way you can do all this stuff in Lubbock you need to do. And I said, all right, I'll be out Saturday morning. Well, he had told me the guy would be there at noon. This is like on a Thursday. I said, all right. So Wednesday night, I had come down through Santa Rosa, down 84 to go towards Lubbock. I was going to meet this guy at noon and then take that little pickup and go to Amarillo after that. Well, I get to Melrose, I run out of hours, I spend the night there. Thursday morning, I get up. I still haven't heard from this driver, and I said, "Hey, where's this driver?" Oh, he's not going to be there till 6 o'clock tonight. And I'm like, well, if I'd have known that, I would have went to Amarillo first, signed those papers, and then went down to Lubbock, and I'd have got there about the same time that he got there. I could have better utilized my time. So from Melrose, New Mexico, I drove a little bit out of route, went up to Amarillo and signed those papers. I got to Lubbock. I said, well, the guy's going to have to wait on me now because I can't sit and wait. They said, that's fine. As long as he can deliver on time, he doesn't mind waiting on you. So I got there about 6:30. He's still not there. Now, mind you, the part of the story I left out on Wednesday, they said, Todd, we want to make this convenient for you. Tell us where you want him to meet you in Lubbock. I gave him a truck stop in Lubbock. I said, yeah, have him meet me here. It's close to my house. It'll be convenient. No problem. I said, also give him my phone number so he and I can coordinate. Well, none of that happened. That morning, that Thursday morning, they told him to go to Love's. I'm sitting about 8 miles down the road at another truck stop. And so finally I call in. I'm like, where is this guy at? And they're like, he should be there. And I'm like, well, he's not here. Give me his number. And I'd been asking for his number, and they're real weird about giving out drivers' numbers, and I guess I get that. And finally they gave me his number. I called him. He says, yeah, I'm down here at the Loves. And I said, all right, stay, because you could tell he didn't know his way around Lubbock. I said, stay there. I'll come down there. No, don't come here. The parking lot is full. He says, I don't know where we're going to do the swap at. I said, well, that's why I told them to have you come down here where I'm at. I've lived here in this area my whole life. I know what truck stops are going to be full and what ones aren't. So I was trying to tell him where I was at. He couldn't figure it out. So I sent him one of those Google Maps pin things where he could find me. He brought the truck down. It was almost 8 o'clock by the time I got done. I had told them also I have 2 load locks in this sealed trailer. The guy needs to bring me 2 load locks. He had no load locks, so I lost 2 load locks in the deal. I had also filled up the loaded trailer I was giving him with reefer fuel. He's supposed to fill up his empty when he brings it to me. He didn't. So that ended up costing me probably about $200, $220. Now, they claim they'll reimburse you for load locks in situations like that. That's yet to be seen. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Reefer fuel, they reimburse if you get it within 2 hours. But at this point, it's 8:30 at night. I got stuff I've got to get done by Saturday morning. So I don't have time to go do all that at night like that. So I ate that reefer money. And so I go home Thursday night. I get up Friday morning early. I go get the blood work done. I come back. I do the yard. I do laundry. I do everything. Get ready to leave. I go visit my uncle real quick. And it's about 11 o'clock at night. I'm getting ready to go to bed, and my phone rings. It's dispatch. Hey, Todd, we got a driver coming through Lubbock that we need to repower his load. Can you do it? Now, I hadn't even had a 34-hour break yet. And, I'm feeling generous because they tried to help me out. Even though this trip home was another total disaster, I think their heart was in the right place. I think they're good people. I think that they're trying to do the right thing. So I want to reciprocate that, and I want to do the right thing. So I said, well, tell me about it. And he tells me about it. It's going to Washington State. It doesn't pay great. It's a hair over $2 a mile. And I said, you know what? I'm considering doing it just to help you guys out. Well, then he goes into micromanagement mode, and this is one of the night dispatchers. I said, am I going to be able to leave at 11 o'clock in the morning because that's when my PTA is? And that's set for a reason. It's because my wife's going to work. She can drop me off on the way to work. I don't have to take Uber or Lyft up there. Well, Todd, the way I got it figured, you need to leave right now. You need to drive to this point. You need to take your break. He starts trying to trip plan me to Washington State. And I said, you must not know about me. I said, it's a little over 1,500 miles. He goes, yeah, 1,700 and whatever it was. I said, I got 3 days to get there. I said, I do this regularly. It's 600 miles a day. I can leave at 11 o'clock in the morning and get it there. And he keeps trying to micromanage me. Well, I think you need to leave now, and I think you need to do this, and I think you need to do that. I said, you know what? Now I'm not going to do it. I've been driving, and I probably shouldn't have said this stuff. Here's where I'm out of line. I said, I've been driving probably longer than you've been alive. I know how to trip plan. I fully know what I'm capable of and what I'm not capable of. And one thing I'm not capable of at this point in my life is being micromanaged. So I'm not going to do it. Well, then he realized he stepped over the line. Todd, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. I was just kind of verbally narrating a way that this would work. I'm like, well, I know exactly how it'd work. It's simple math. It's 600 miles a day. I can do it. But anyway, I said, well, now I'm not going to do it. Here it is, 1 o'clock in the morning. At this point, we're at 1 o'clock in the morning, and you're expecting me to get up in the morning and drive when I got to get up in the morning and pack and reload my truck to go. And here we are at 1 in the morning discussing a load on an already shortened, already screwed up home time. And so that's the first problem. And here's what I would, like I said earlier in this video, I really, really, really like about 85% of everything about TransAm. But for whatever reason, when it's time to go home, it gets screwed up every single time. And they're working on it. I believe that. I think they want it to get better. And I think at some point it probably will get better. But my patience is wearing thin, and they know it, and I know it. And I've told them I'm going to give them a few more weeks to kind of improve things. I've got this wedding coming up. I've asked to be in Lubbock on August 6th. That gives me a day to pack. I'll drive down on the 7th. The wedding's on the 8th, and then I'll drive back on the 9th, hopefully. We'll see how they do. A lot is riding on them getting me home on time. It would be much better for them to get me there a day or two early than it would be for them to get me there a day or two late. And so that's problem number one. It's getting to where I dread going home because I know we're going to have drama and chaos every single time we try to get me home. And people say, well, do you not recommend TransAm? No, because most of y'all don't live where I live. Most of you will never experience the chaos that I've experienced trying to get to Lubbock. And so now we got question or problem number 2 to talk about. And this one I'm a little more reluctant to talk about because as recently as about an hour and a half ago, we were discussing this. And I do believe it was a clerical error, and I do believe it's going to get fixed. But I've got somewhere in the vicinity of $2,500 that's in limbo right now. And I brought it to their attention today on Sunday, and they said, Todd, there's no way this can be right. We believe it's a clerical error. Give us till tomorrow to fix it. And so you guys know how I freak out about money. It doesn't even take $2,500. I'll freak out for $20 or $50. But this is one of those times I do believe it was an honest mistake, and I do believe that they're going to correct it tomorrow. So I'm not going to sling any mud yet. I'm going to give them an opportunity to fix it, even if it's not till tomorrow. If we can get it fixed in the next few days, I'm not going to make a big deal about it. Now, having said that, if we can't get it fixed, I've already started editing the video that's going to come out. And it's going to show what the allegations are, and it's going to show what my defense and proof is, and then I'm going to let you people be the judge and decide. But I'm relatively confident this is going to get fixed behind the scenes, just because, like I've said many times, I'm dealing with a lot of really good, honest people with integrity over there. I'm sure there's somebody in the company I haven't met anybody within the company that I felt like was a dishonest person that was trying to rip me off. There's only two people I've met in the company that I didn't have a real high opinion of. And, one of them, I don't, uh, I've kind of changed my mind about him. He's a night dispatcher. And the last time I had to deal with him, I found myself in agreement with him. He did a phenomenal job. So maybe I've just caught him a couple of times on bad days. Um, the other lady, I'm not sure. We got off on the wrong foot, and I don't have to deal with her anymore. I'm not sure if it's fixed or not, but I'm not going to sling any mud at her. It's just I'm reluctant to talk to her any more than I have to. But the other, I mean, we're talking about a company with probably a couple hundred employees, and if less than 1% of them I've had issue with, that's great. But instead, I've met a ton of people there that step out of their job description and try to help and try to do the right thing. I've yet to walk up to somebody and them go, "That's not my job." Now they may say, "Hey, I know who handles that. Let me walk you over there." Hey, let me send them an email. I've ran into that. I ran into it today when we were talking about this 2500. He said, "I think the person that handles that is this person, the one that called you the other day about your lease completion bonus." And he said, "I'm going to reach out to her and we'll get this fixed in the morning, get you some answers in the morning." And so that's not passing the buck. That's the way I'd like to see stuff handled. And I'm real happy about that. But I have already started editing the video for if this goes south. There's a lot of rumors circulating around that I've left TransAm, and I promise you I'm still there. Stickers are still on the door. I'm in Pennsylvania right now. This would be a stupid place for me to quit. And I like it here. I really do. I dread home time here, but truck is running great. I'm probably going to step away from making a lot of TransAm videos the next week or two for several reasons. One, I've got that wedding I've got to attend. That's going to take up some time and money. And two, I need to do some tell videos. I need to do some other videos on other subjects. And so I'll probably step away from the TransAm videos a little bit. And then when we've got something we need to talk about, I can always circle back around. But that's kind of what's going on. And I'll be happy to take your questions, and we'll go from there. Let's see here. Codename says he's in Pennsylvania. What part? I'm over by York. I think the spot that I'm in is called. I'm in a truck parking club spot, and it says I am Manchester, Pennsylvania. That's where I delivered earlier. I wasn't sure if I was in a different city limits or because I'm kind of out in the country, but I'm in the Manchester, Pennsylvania area, which is pretty near York, Pennsylvania. My cousin's over in New Jersey right now. We looked it up earlier. He's about 130, 140 miles from me. And he came from Lubbock as well, but he flew. So I won't get to see him while I'm up here, but he's nearby. And Gary Cook, good afternoon. I'm on I-76 East in Colorado. I'll be listening while driving. I like running I-76. Good scenic route. Glad you could be here tonight, Gary. And Codename says he's in Bensalem. Well, there you go. I'll be parked for tonight. They don't have a load for me after I delivered this morning. I was fine with it. I'm on recaps, and I only had about 2 hours left anyway. I think I get 6 or 9 back at midnight, so I could run the majority of tomorrow. And I figure they'll have something about 7 in the morning. That's usually when they like to send stuff. That's usually when I like to be sleeping too, by the way. And Freight Swami says, "What's up, everyone?" Hey, Freight Swami, thank you for being here tonight. And M&B Trucking says, "Yo, cheap freight hauler, what's up, my guy?" And Cheap Freight Hauler says, "Man, we're just trying to keep the lights on. How you been?" And M&B, LOL, sure. I'm still in a motel, bro. Yeah, that's I wasn't gonna say nothing on here. He's had some issues this week, M&B has. I talked to him, was it earlier today or yesterday? My days are running together. The phone has been blowing up. Codename says, "Oh my, Todd, yeah, it's frustrating. I do believe they're working on a solution. I don't know what it is yet. I really don't. It's frustrating because crime is all over Lubbock. I can name 3 or 4 places right off the top of my head where they go. And I've picked up trailers there at the Carrier repair facility, at the Thermo King repair facility. Um, Surely the trailers could need service, or we could get permission to drop there so I don't have to run these 300 extra miles. Or, I mean, there's got to be a more feasible solution than where we're at right now. This one was close, but it seems like every time I do a swap, the drivers just aren't up to par. Like if I know somebody's waiting on me, I'll hustle up and get on over there. But it seems like, I mean, we had one, the very first one I did at Garrison. Or no, the very first one I did at TransAm. They, the guy stopped like 50 miles away and took a 10-hour break. And I think it's more of a problem with trucking than with TransAm, is that everybody's out for themselves now. Nobody else takes anybody else into consideration anymore. And Cheap Freight Hauler to M&B, I hope they get you going soon. And M&B, hopefully tomorrow we'll see, just need a radiator. Brian Produce, good to see you on here, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've received a lot of scoldings and tongue lashings lately. Everybody is wanting to know where the lives has gone, friends and family alike. And it's just everything's been so crazy lately. I haven't had any time. Even my recorded videos have suffered. I found out today, one guy said that he was talking about me, and a guy there at the terminal was saying, "Hey, when's Todd going to interview me on his channel? He's a guy that I'm wanting to get on here and interview." I got another guy that's been reaching out to me wanting me to appear on his podcast. And I tell everybody, man, I want to do it. I really do. But if I can't even do my channel, how am I going to commit to another channel? So I've got to get my ducks in a row, got to get my scheduling figured out so that I can be a million places at once, like what everybody's used to seeing. Hopefully before too long, we'll get it squared away. I've been saying that for a while now, though. Even I'm frustrated with me saying that. Codename says, "I'm in the fuel island in Albany, Georgia loves." Oh, I thought you said you were in Pennsylvania. But while you're in the fuel island, what a great place to take a 10-hour break. Go in, get you a shower, get you something to eat. Everybody else does it, so you might as well do it too. And channel member Kevin Snipes. Good evening, sir. Hey, how you doing, my friend? Michael says, a big house sleeper, you still haul about 40,000 with one. Yeah, on the spot market, that would work most of the time. On contract freight, I mean, I just hauled a reefer load the other day that was 43. And so, yeah, if I was, sorry, if I was more in control of the freight, that'd be doable most of the time. Although, when I was on the spot market in West Texas, I hauled some pumpkin loads and some peanut loads and some things like that with a vented van trailer that we'd get up there in the weights, and they paid pretty good as well. Maxwell Strength says, hey, Todd, hope you're doing well. I enjoy your regardless, good or bad. I appreciate that. It's funny that you say that because if I do negative videos, uh, people say, well, if you can't say something nice, just don't say nothing at all. And if I do positive videos, they go, oh, you're just a recruiter. You're trying to get referral money, blah, 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 blah. So I quit worrying about if they're positive or negative. I just come on here and tell the truth. I really view myself as an umpire and calling balls and strikes and foul balls and telling you how it is. And you know, I still come out. Channel's doing really good. Uh, Financially, I'm still behind the eight ball a little bit, but I'm doing the best I've done in several years. I'm making really great money here. But as with most Americans, I got way too much debt. I'm trying to get rid of some debt, and then things will greatly improve. I pay a fortune for health insurance, dental, vision. Uh, I've got all kinds of insurance, car insurance, and so that's one area I've got to look at and see if I can consolidate some of that and get some of it down. Got a ton of life insurance, uh, and so yeah, there's got to be. I've just got to organize and take care of some things, and then I'll be doing a lot better. But I'm very happy with where I'm at right now and the direction things are headed for sure. Well, Todd, if you were at Like Trucking, you could control when you go home and left home. Yeah, it's basically like SRO Logistics. I call it SRO Logistics 2.0. It's probably slightly better than SRO Logistics, and having the same trailer all the time is definitely a benefit. You don't get any dropping hooks, but at the same time, you learn the quirks of the trailer and things like that. Um, so yeah, I'm real familiar with it. I'm real familiar with running the spot market. Um, the downside to it, people say, well, what's the downside? You make it sound perfect. I spent my whole day looking at load boards. Like I didn't have much of a life outside of doing videos and looking at load boards. I'd be in the bathroom looking at load boards. I'd be at dinner looking at load boards. I'd be watching a movie looking at load boards. And so, you know, everything in moderation. If I go that route again, I think I'll have to manage myself better to where I'm not just consumed by finding the next great load. But I definitely enjoyed the challenge of it. I definitely enjoyed the money. I definitely went home a lot more. And so I would, uh, one thing I've said, if I leave here at some point, I'm not going to initially say where I'm going. Uh, I think it'll get quick enough. People will see me at truck stops. People will see me at that company and it'll get out. And once it gets out, we'll talk about it. But I think I just want a break from being tied to a company or associated with a company. And so if I leave here, I can tell you that There's a very real possibility it would be to like trucking, but it's not something you'll probably see in a video. It'll just happen all of a sudden. Dave Lawrence, sounds like a bad deal. Time to pull the pins. You would think so, but the problem I've got is, I'm a sucker for an apology. And, like this deal that we're currently dealing with on the 2500, when they're like, man, Todd, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure it's a clerical error. I'm pretty sure it's a mistake. Give us till tomorrow to get it fixed. That's all it takes. And I go from being mad to being really understanding, because I've made mistakes in my life and I've wanted people to be understanding of me. And so, uh, that's, uh, that's what I would say about that it's real easy to make a switch if you catch them stealing, but I haven't caught them stealing. And this is the first time I've had a payroll concern like this. So, um, but the home time thing, that bugs me more than anything, because the two things, regardless of what any driver tells you, over the road driver, is they want their money to be right and they want their home time to be right. And the money's been right and the respect and the treatment's been right, but the home time has been a real struggle every single time. And that's what we all need to put our heads together and come up with a solution, because I'm very, very content with the money I'm making here. That's what makes this a tough decision. And I'm very, very content with most of the people I work with. Codename says he's in Pennsylvania now also. Wow, you're the man. He is in Pennsylvania and Georgia simultaneously. Freight Swami, I love Truck Parking Club. Yeah, I catch a lot of grief for using them, but I think there's some things about Truck Parking Club that people don't consider. Once you start using them, they send you a newsletter, and in almost every newsletter, there's a survey. And if you take the survey, it gives you a promo code to get $25 off a parking spot. You get $20 off one when you use my promo code. So then after you stay at a place, they send you a survey. And if you do that survey, you get a $5 credit. So you end up staying at a lot of Truck Parking Club spots for free or for less than $5. And I still, hey, I'm like y'all. I prefer free when I can get free. But if I've got to pay for a spot, I like staying at these Truck Parking Club spots because they're quieter. There's less riffraff running around. There's less chance somebody's going to back into my truck. I always get a great night's sleep at one just because it is so quiet. And with all these promo codes, you can usually stay at one for free. Like I've got a list of promo codes from doing all their surveys. Codename says he's picked up prime freight in Clovis, New Mexico also. I picked up a load over there when I was running the spot market, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I want to say it was peanuts or it was some kind of produce in a vented van, and the people were super nice. It was a real small parking lot, and they said, Todd, are you in a big hurry? And I said, I don't know, what's going on? They said, we're about to order pizza and we'd like you to join us. And I said, yeah, I think I could have lunch with you. Well, after I left, they called the broker and just went on and on about what a great patient truck driver I was and how professional I was. And like, man, I got a free meal out of it and a bunch of kudos. Well, then the broker called Scott and was telling Scott about me. And so I guess they caught me on a good day and I caught them on a good day. But They were real appreciative of me. I went to a place the other day. I delivered to a place that they were super nice as well. I had like a 5 p.m. appointment, and I got there at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I expected to wait. They had a like a staging area you waited in, and I went inside and I said, I know I'm way too early. I said, I just wanted to let you know I'm here. And he looked at my stuff. He goes, oh, it's all the same product. He goes, how would you like to be unloaded right now? And I said, man, I'd love it. And he said, all right, pull in the door. I think it was 18. And 30 minutes later, I was pulling out of there. And so they had clean restrooms. Everybody, the guy that came out to get my paperwork, everybody had a big smile on their face. And it was a pleasure to go there. I wish every shipper and receiver was like that. And honestly, I wish I could pull for that customer all the time. It was incredible the way they treated me. Mary Cook, I just delivered my first load of eggs. I delivered in Cheyenne, Wyoming. My first time to that Walmart, but went good. Yeah, egg loads. I used to pull a lot of them when I worked for a company there in Lubbock where I was home every day, or every other day, I mean. And we'd pick up eggs sometimes as a backhaul. And I was always nervous about them because I thought, man, if they ever bust, that's going to be a mess. But I never had a load of eggs bust. It wasn't a bad place to do that. Let's see. Codename says, as an owner op. All right. He picked up in Clovis as an owner op. Yeah, I was an owner op running the spot market when I picked up those peanuts or flowers or whatever it was over there. I don't remember the product now, but it was a neat little place. So, oh, it was pecans. That's what it was. It was pecans. Brian Produce, if they owe you 2,500 in, I'm gonna skip down to his other part of his comment. The 2,500 is being owed is extremely concerning. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a brief panic attack earlier today. It really concerned me because, like I said, this trip coming up is very important to me. I don't want anything to mess it up. And I thought, man, if they hit me for 2,500 right before I go, I'll still be able to go, but it's money I could definitely use. And if they've already hit me, because I never really got an itemized deal for my lease completion bonus, if they hit me already, then that's 2,500 I could really use for the trip. And I'm being told it's a clerical error, that I have not been charged and I will not be charged. Of course, that's still got to be verified tomorrow, but it's definitely concerning. And I don't hide the fact that I freak out about money if I feel like somebody owes me. And I've said before, I'll quit a company over $50 if I feel like they've stole it from me and they're not going to make it right. And 2,500 would definitely be that magic number. But I just don't think we're going to get there based on the discussions I've had with them today. I think that we're going to get this figured out tomorrow morning. The same or some of the same evidence that I'm editing into a video in case I have to release it, I sent them today. I've got more. And so they're evaluating that and they're looking at their records. And I think we're going to have a favorable solution here real soon. And Cheap Freight Hauler says, a lot of great people over there. I'm not sure if you're talking about Light Trucking or TransAm, but I would agree with you about both places. M&B Trucking, being understanding of mistakes is very good, Todd. Yeah, even in the YouTube world, I've lost some really good friends because they've done some really backstabbing things in the name of ambition and trying to grow their channel. And even now, if they just call and apologize and try to make things right, we could probably fix some of those friendships. Some of them were really good friends, almost like brothers, and I hated to lose them. But not just in the YouTube world, in life, you got to surround yourself with people that you can trust. And if you can't trust people, you got to cut ties. Uh, there's been, well, I don't even want to go into it on here, but there's been some really bad things happen. And, I wonder about those people. I think about them. I wonder how they're doing. But if they don't recognize what they did was wrong, or they don't feel like they can apologize, then I just can't forgive them. And I've had to cut ties with some family members uh, that were really, really close to me because I felt like they sold me out when they had the opportunity. And or some people, I say, they bet on the wrong horse. They had a situation where they had to bet on me or somebody else, and they choose to bet on that other person instead of me. And one of the biggest mistakes a person can make is to underestimate me. I had a friend who used to say, Todd, you're a lot smarter than you look. And that's true. I may not look like the smartest guy in the world, but I got my finger on the pulse, and I know a lot more, and I see a lot more than what you think I do. Cheap freight hauler. I delivered a John Deere tractor to the dealer in Clovis a few months back. I bet that's a good paying load. Cheap freight hauler wants to know if M&B is still lollygagging. Yeah, they're living it up in a hotel. Hopefully their radiator comes in tomorrow. That sounds mighty quick. I'll be surprised if it comes in that quick, but maybe. All right, we still got 32 people here, so we're going to keep it rolling. But as long as y'all got stuff to talk about, let me remind everybody, give this video a thumbs up. Share it on your social media platforms, and make sure you're subscribed. After you subscribe, click that bell, select all, and you'll be notified when future videos come out. Also, click on the title of the video. A bunch of information will drop down. You can learn other ways to support the channel. You can learn ways to get a truck like I did. You can learn how to get cell phone service like I do. All kinds of interesting links and stuff down there. Go check out the website, truckertodd.net. You can email me at todd@truckertodd.net. All that's down there as well. I'm trying to ramble for a few seconds to give y'all time to type. And then if there's no comments, we'll probably wrap this up, and I'll go play video games and return phone calls and do all that good stuff. Cheap freight hauler. That tractor load was just cheap freight. That's why I hauled it. Man, I would think it'd be pretty good because Clovis is kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Hey, Shop Fees is here. He says one. Good to see you again, Shop Fees. Glad you could make it. All right, even though we got 35 here, everybody is kind of petering out after an hour. We've been going an hour and 6 minutes. Anything else y'all want to discuss before I cut out of here? Oh, I know something else I want to talk about. The shorts. We were doing 3 a day. I've cut it back to 2 a day most of the time because I realize it could be overwhelming and which ones you've seen, which ones you haven't seen. they are running several weeks behind. For example, this video here will get broken up into shorts and come out mid-August, towards the end of August even. So the stuff you're seeing now was done 4 to 6 weeks ago. And basically, they're just like little advertisements to get people to go back and watch the long form videos. And they're being very successful. They got me monetized on Facebook. So now I'm monetized in several places. I don't even know where all. And it's been real nice. But I appreciate y'all watching the shorts. It's an opportunity to see something you might have missed in the long form videos. But just keep in mind that they're from several weeks ago. They're usually, well, they're always under 3 minutes. They're usually 60 to 90 seconds. And so sometimes they're AI generated. Sometimes it takes what I say out of context and things like that. Just keep that in mind when you're watching them. All right, folks, it's dried up, so I'm out of here. Y'all have a great night. We'll see how tomorrow goes. I may do another one tomorrow night. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
This is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round. For my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do